Oh, what's that? You're not subscribed to the channel yet. You haven't seen all the content? Well, little sorry about that demonstration there, boys, but welcome back to the channel. The FUMMINS moves. We have a 24 valve we're getting to, and pretty much things are just bowling. So if you like the Bert builds, click subscribe, ring the bell, make sure to share with your friends, because without you guys and all the comments and support that we get on these builds, I would just be wasting my time, a stupid nobody doing nothing. So thank you. Oh no, I forgot light bulbs. Alright, I gotta go. Let's see what happens. Oh hey, didn't see you guys there. Anyway, welcome back to Bert Builds. We've gotten a massive, humongous amount of things done here, boys. Literally the mess on the ground of fluids, gloves, trash, parts, and tools is unbelievable.
24 hours later.
I apologize, guys. I've been sick, so my voice is a little iffy. But we need this drive shaft in like 5 days ago. The thing is a piece of shit. Anyway, we're gonna blow a hole in the old girl and try and put it in. But look, we have a drive shaft, guys. Look at that. It will probably blow up. I'm gonna say definitely. We have that guy in case it does. Around because I was testing out the shifter linkage, and let's take a look at the list, you know. But so we got our drive shaft done, our power steering, which I originally thought I had hooked up already, but I guess I didn't. So we got that working. That was an actual bitch. But yeah, so I'm still kind of sick. My throat still kind of hurts, but we have FUMMINS to build, boys. We already missed our date. We technically have already failed. Our goal is already not reached. I've been spending like $100 a day on clamps and fluids, and it's already July 7th. And we haven't even driven the old girl yet. But yeah, the ABS sensor was going nuts because we trapped some air in the lines. But we got that all figured out. Power steering is now working. Pulling off a little bit. We have to get new boots, new clamps up there. Probably gonna have to reseat the entire drive shaft, maybe grind down a couple spots, because it's got this O-ring where the yokes line up, and the yoke that I have for the shaft I had the shop shortened for me is just a little bit different. So there's like an 1/8 inch gap meeting up with the transmission, so when it spins it gets a little tiny wobble to it. So if you were ripping this thing, it might come through the cab, blow up, ruin the bearings, I don't know. That's what it is. I airlocked the Hydro Boost system on this truck because on these Ford Super Duties, they're so heavy that the power steering and the brakes both run together in this Hydro Boost system using transmission fluid instead of power steering fluid. And I redid the rear brakes, and I never bled them because I couldn't drive the truck anyways. And the engine wasn't even inside the Can I say that? Anywho's kids, will beep out the F word. But it's awesome because there was air in my brake line, so I stepped on the brakes and my pedal went to the floor, and the ABS sensor, which is what modulates your brakes when you step on them so that you don't skid. That's why you can't drift your car without an e-brake. Air intake we haven't done yet. We got the filter for it though. Boost tubes we did. We mapped them out. There's a couple clamps that blew off just from me starting it, so that's not a good sign, but we gotta fix that. And then cruise control. I'm gonna make a separate video on that, just like the RC steering. Scary. Here comes the rain. I'm hopeful, sort of, maybe. I have no idea. Guys, I have no idea. Will this truck ever move? I don't know. I don't know. classic Cummins shake when you shut it off. She should be almost ready to drive though. Like I was saying, we got the power steering going. I'm gonna put these clamps on. Then we have like smaller stuff that's not important that I want to make separate videos on that include this rough country steering stabilizer. We have an air horn, rock lights, and also an AC to DC to AC? AC to DC? DC is battery, AC is house. So we're gonna wire up some house outlets on this truck. So this is the tube. This snakes up. This is a pretty elaborate tube too, like just stock from Ford. It did this. It goes right in between your headlight and your intercooler, then bangs up right in between your fan and your battery thing, like literally like that. So then I had to come up with some 90s and some other clamps, but that should be good. Why do I hear sounds right now? We're gonna have to pull this whole thing apart. Anyway, we'll throw these clamps on here. See, right? Kind of easy to take apart. It'll probably blow up. We'll see. This is uncivilized. Ah! Bug! Get the f here. Bugs in here. Dude. This rain is bad. We're hiccups, boys, hiccups. It's the small little things in a project. Yes, like, it's the small little things, guys. The small things that you're not thinking about is what adds up and will take the most amount of time. And really be the biggest pain in the ass, especially if it's something that you can't test until you've done 5 other things. Then you don't know, fuck, what are those 5 other things I did. But so we have to get this alternator system working. We got new boots and clamps, so hopefully we make boosts. Those don't blow off now. The drive shaft is in, the shifter cable's in, the throttle's all hooked up. I know it's been kind of like a sporadic last couple of videos. We've done a little to done a ton to doing like a little. It's just sort of the flow of how I figure things out as I go, I guess. But so the truck is kind of ready to run and drive, but the entire time I've been using it, I've had it hooked up to this jumper. Not really thinking, you know, just I was literally just not thinking. So it's been hooked up to the jumper the whole time, and I've been testing out everything except for the charging system. So finally I come to realize the battery light on the dash is not turning off normally when you start it. Turning the key forward actuates what they call a momentary switch, so only for that 1 second when you're physically turning the key does it activate. That's what goes down to your starter, cranks that over. But it also is supposedly supposed to send a signal to your alternator here that activates the alternator and then shuts off, telling the inside the cab to turn off the battery light on the dash, so that the computer, thus the PCM standing for power control module, but that's what tells your alternator to start going. And basically we're not getting any signal there. The alternator wasn't even charging at first. Now we got it to charge, but I had a mishap with some thin gauge wire, so I don't know, boys. We should be able to make it work. I went with the watering hole over there today. The town's going nuts. 12.37. 100% sure on this. I almost want to start it and test what's going on, but I feel like not one thing is going to change. We're going to wash this thing off. We got it pretty much mechanically all set, hopefully. Leaking a few things, but we can fix that over time. Just a small oil drain leak. This is the 24 valve though, boys. Dun, dun, dun.